Module 3, Household Composition. For this module, we will focus on these topics: medical assistance units, scenarios, resources. Medical assistance units. A medical assistance unit is one or more family members whose eligibility for Medicaid is determined based on tax filing status. When applying for Apple Health Medicaid, applicants should include everyone in their household, in addition to any non-tax filers and tax dependents. This includes unmarried co-parents, spouses, siblings, and children. See WAC 182-506-0010. Each individual will have their own medical assistance unit and based on tax filing status and relationship may have different eligibility results than other individuals on the same application. If a married couple reside together, they are included in each other's medical assistance unit regardless of their tax filing status. The income used to determine an individual's eligibility is the total of all countable income of everyone in the medical assistance unit. Establishing medical assistance units. Medical assistance units are based on tax filing status, relationship, and age. Each individual will fall into one of three tax filing categories: tax filer, tax dependent, non-filer. What is a tax filer? A tax filer is an individual who expects to file an income tax return and is not expected to be claimed as a tax dependent by someone else. The medical assistance unit of a tax filer includes the tax filer, their spouse, and all individuals they expect to claim as a tax dependent, even when the tax dependent does not live with them. What is a tax dependent? A tax dependent is an individual who expects to be claimed by a tax filer. The medical assistance unit of a tax dependent is the same as the tax filer who claims them and includes the tax filer, their spouse if living with them, and all individuals they expect to claim as a tax dependent, even when the tax dependent does not live with the tax filer. Tax dependent exceptions. A tax dependent is treated as a non-filer when they are neither the spouse nor the child of the tax filer, are a child under age 19 who resides with both parents and those parents do not file a joint tax return, or expect to be claimed by a non-custodial parent. What is a non-filer? A non-filer is an individual who does not expect to file taxes, will not be claimed as a tax dependent, or meets one of the tax dependent exceptions. The medical assistance unit of a non-filer includes themselves and their spouse and their natural, adopted, and stepchildren under age 19 only if living with the non-filer. If the non-filing individual is less than 19 years old, their natural, adopted, and step-parents, and their natural, adopted, and step-siblings under 19 years old. Here is a summary of all available tax filing statuses in Washington Healthplanfinder and how they correspond to the categories we just reviewed. Scenarios. Scenario 1. Jay applies for himself and includes his wife Ashley and their two children, Paul, age 8, and Emma, age 6. Jay and Ashley plan to file a joint return claiming both their children as tax dependents. Jay and Ashley's income is from employment, and Paul and Emma report dividend income. On this slide, it displays the application details. Take a moment to review this slide. As you can see, Paul and Emma report monthly dividend income of $500 each. Therefore, their income will be countable since it meets the tax filing threshold. Let's review this scenario. Jay and Ashley are tax filers, so tax filer rules apply to them. Paul and Emma are tax dependents, for whom none of the exceptions apply, so tax dependent rules apply to them. The entire family is included in each medical assistance unit. The household income of $3,500 is counted for each medical assistance unit. Here are the results for scenario 1. As you can see in this table, the entire family is included in each medical assistance unit. Jay and Ashley are not eligible for Apple Health due to their income, and Paul and Emma qualify for Apple Health for kids. Scenario 2. One applies for himself, his wife Maria, and their two children, Roberto, age 2, and Lisa, age 3. No one expects to file taxes, and no one is claimed as a tax dependent. Juan and Maria's income is from employment, and Roberto and Lisa report dividend income. Here is the application details. Take a moment to review this slide. As you can see, Roberto and Lisa report monthly dividend income of $500 each. Therefore, their income will be countable since it meets the tax filing threshold. Let's review this scenario. Non-filer rules apply in this scenario to each person since no one is a tax filer or dependent. The medical assistance unit for each family member is the same. Here are the results for scenario 2. As you can see in this table, the entire family is included in each medical assistance unit. Juan and Maria are not eligible for Apple Health due to their income, and Roberto and Lisa qualify for Apple Health for kids. Scenario 3. Carol, age 60, applies for herself and her grandson Cody, age 12. She states that she will file taxes and claim her grandson as a dependent. Carol receives Social Security disability. Cody receives per capita distributions from gaming. Here is the application details. Take a moment to review the slide. As you can see, Cody receives a $600 monthly per capita distributions from gaming. Therefore, his income will be countable since it meets the tax filing threshold. Let's review this scenario. Since Cody is a tax dependent who is claimed by his grandma, the non-filer rules apply to him. His medical assistance unit is himself, and only his income is countable. The medical assistance unit for Carol includes herself and her grandson because tax filer rules apply. Here are the results for scenario 3. As you can see in this table, the included individuals for each medical assistance unit is different. Both Carol and Cody are eligible for Apple Health. Scenario 4. Nick lives with his son Alex, age 14, his girlfriend Sherry, and their daughter in common, Joan, age 1. Nick applies for himself and Alex. Nick does not expect to file taxes or be claimed as a tax dependent. Alex had income earlier in the year and he will have to file taxes. Sherry applies for herself and Joan. Sherry is a tax filer and plans to claim Joan and Alex as her dependents. Nick, Sherry, and Alex receive income from employment. Here are the details for Nick's application. Take a moment to review this slide. As you can see, Alex earns $600 a month. Therefore, his income is countable and it is included in the application. Here are the details for Sherry's application. Take a moment to review this slide. As you can see, Alex and Nick are included in the application even though they are not related to Sherry. Alex is included because he is a tax dependent of Sherry and Joan is a sibling. Let's review this scenario. Since Nick is a non-filer, his medical assistance unit includes himself and his 2 children. Sherry is a tax filer. Her medical assistance unit includes herself and her 2 tax dependents. Alex is a tax dependent who is claimed by Sherry, who is not his parent, so he is considered a non-filer. His medical assistance unit includes his father and sibling. Joan is a tax dependent who is claimed by one parent but lives with both parents who are not married. Non-filer rules apply for Joan, so her medical assistance unit includes herself, both parents, and her sibling. Here are the results for scenario 4. Since Nick is a non-filer, his medical assistance unit includes himself and his 2 children. Sherry is a tax filer, and her medical assistance unit includes herself and her 2 tax dependents. As you can see in this table, only Nick and Alex are eligible for Apple Health. Scenario 5. Sarah, age 19, applies for herself and her brother John, age 9. She states that she is a tax filer and will claim John as dependent. Sarah is pregnant and is expecting twins. She earns $3,000 from her job. John receives $200 Social Security income. Take a moment to review the application details on this slide. Let's review this scenario. Since Sarah is a tax filer, her medical assistance unit includes herself, her brother who is her tax dependent, and her unborn twins. She is eligible for Apple Health for pregnant individuals. John is a tax dependent who is claimed by a person who is not his parent or spouse. He is treated as a non-filer and he has a medical assistance unit of 1. Here are the results for scenario 5. As you can see in this table, the included individuals for each medical assistance unit is different. Sarah's medical assistance unit includes herself, her unborn twins, and John. She is eligible for Apple Health pregnancy for individuals. John is eligible for Apple Health for kids. Something to remember is that even though John receives $200 of Social Security, this income is not countable in the application. Scenario 6. Jim and Jill are divorced with a child in common, Kyle, age 6, who lives with Jill but is claimed as a tax dependent by Jim. Jill is a tax filer and applies for herself and Kyle. Jim, who lives in a different town, applies separately for himself. Jim and Jill receive income from employment. Here are the application details for Jim. Take a moment to review this slide. As you can see, Kyle is included in Jim's application even though he doesn't live with him. Here are the application details for Jill. Take a moment to review this slide. Let's review this scenario. Even though Kyle does not live with Jim, he would still be included in Jim's medical assistance unit since Kyle is Jim's tax dependent. Jill is also a tax filer, and her medical assistance unit would include herself, but not her son, as he is being claimed by Jim, who lives outside the home. Her income is over the limit. Kyle is a tax dependent who is claimed by a non custodial parent, so non filer rules apply to him. Under non filer rules, an individual under age 19 includes his parent or parents in his medical assistance unit if living with them. Here are the results for scenario 6. As you can see in this table, Jim is eligible for Apple Health for adults and Kyle is eligible for Apple Health for kids. Scenario 7. Natalia, age 45, lives with her daughter Catalina, age 20, and Catalina's daughter Mia, age 1. Natalia files taxes and claims both her daughter Catalina and her granddaughter Mia. Natalia applies for herself. Catalina applies for herself and Mia. Natalia and Catalina both receive income from employment. Here are the application details for Natalia. Take a moment to review this slide. Here is Catalina's application details. Take a moment to review this slide. As you can see, Catalina included Natalia in her application. Let's review this scenario. Since Natalia is a tax filer rules apply. Her medical assistance unit includes herself and her two tax dependents, Catalina and Mia. Catalina is a tax dependent and does not meet any of the exceptions, so her medical assistance unit is exactly like the tax filer claiming her. Catalina, Natalia, and Mia. Mia is a tax dependent claimed by Natalia. Since Natalia is not her parent, non-filer rules apply for Mia. Her medical assistance unit includes her mother, Catalina, and herself. Here are the results for scenario 7. As you can see in this table, Natalia and Catalina are not eligible, and Mia is eligible for Apple Health for kids. Scenario 8. Carlos applies for himself, his spouse Sebastian, and their French child Anna, age 17, who they have guardianship over. Carlos and Sebastian filed jointly and claim Anna and their son Rafael, age 21, who is away at college as their tax dependents. Rafael applies on his own. Anna had other income in the year and she must file taxes. Carlos is self-employed. Sebastian and Anna receive income from employment. Here are the application details for Carlos. Take a moment to review this slide. As you can see, Rafael is not living at home, but he is included in the application as a tax dependent. Here are the application details for Rafael. Take a moment to review this slide. As you can see, Rafael must include his parent or parents and their tax dependent on this application. Let's review this scenario. Carlos and Sebastian are tax filers claiming Rafael and Anna as tax dependents. Their medical assistance units include themselves, their spouse, and both dependents. Income of everyone is counted. Rafael is away at college and his parents expect to claim him. He is a tax dependent and does not meet any of the exceptions, so his medical assistance unit is the same as the tax filer claiming him, Rafael, his parents, and Anna. For Anna, the non-filer rules apply as she is being claimed by someone other than a spouse or parent. Her medical assistance unit includes only herself and her income counts. Here are the results for scenario 8. As you can see in this table, all of them listed are eligible for Apple Health. Resources. Listed on this slide are resources for topics we have covered for Module 3. Congratulations! You have completed Module 3 of HCA Community-Based Training. Please continue to Module 4 of the 7-module HCA Community-Based Training.